In this video, I'm going to be recapping the three main ideas that we talked about today in the Sacramento Entrepreneurship Academy: the business model canvas, customer profile, and customer questions. And by the end of this video, you'll have actually seen these resources, seen how I've applied them to my own idea, and be able to implement it for yourself. Now, all of these resources, they're open source, so you can actually just Google them. I may have them linked down below as well. But either way, let's get into this. So in the description of this video, there's a free how to start your next semester strong. So if you're a college student, check that out. So the business model canvas. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what this looks like. And here it is. So this is what it looks like. It's got as you can see, all the different areas. So the way that it was described to me is right here, the value proposition, that's kind of the it. And there's a couple different pieces to this. And I really love the way it was described here, which was there's the feasibility, which is on the left. And then there are the desirability, which is on the right here. On this side over here, there's the desirability. And then there's the will it make money, which is the viability at the bottom here. So that's kind of the way this was broken up and explained to me. And with this model, we're really focusing on the right-hand side, the value proposition, customer relationship, and channels. That's where we're focusing right now at this point. So with that being said, why have this structure? Why does this even matter? And the idea of having a framework or having something that you can use multiple times, the reason why this matters is it's kind of like in my life when I was young, my parents, they taught me how to eat pretty healthy. They taught me the importance of drinking water, of eating lots of vegetables and fruits. And the reason why that matters is because it created a framework, a principle that I can live by and continue to apply for the rest of my life, and it's still valuable. See, if they just give me a strawberry one day, but they don't teach me that behind that there's this concept that eating fruit, that eating vegetables really matters, then I can't apply it in the future. And the business model canvas is kind of like that. It's a structure that, although I'm learning it and applying it once today, it has the ability to allow me to create a whole wide variety of businesses in the future. And that's why it matters now. So the second part of this is, now that we have at least an idea of the business model canvas, is to go through this customer profile. And really the concept with the customer profile is to understand what is the customer's objective. So right here, we can actually write in, hey, for me, what I'm going to do is I'm looking for a way to help young adults develop character. Okay, so that's what we can do there. And then the problems, what are some of the problems with that way of thinking? Well, it's super easy to procrastinate, to do things that are important later. And the other thing is to go, oh, when I graduate college, when I do whatever, then I can go on to the next thing. So that could be the procrastination or whatever. I'm just going to hit pro. And then when I graduate, then I see that a lot. And then the other side of it is sometimes it can just not be important. So that can be another area. And then inside of this, it can be, how does that make someone feel? Well, in the moment, it may not matter. But as time continues, it might cause someone to be embarrassed. It might cause someone to be frustrated. And so it's a way of actually quantifying these different emotions. And then on the other side, you'd have to turn it upside down. But it's asking, number 4 is, what are the results that they're hoping to achieve? And one of the things that I'm seeing is it's developing habits that really matter and that bring value in the long term of our lives. That it's not just, can we do something well while we're in college or in high school, but can we actually develop habits and thought processes that are going to continue to serve us for the rest of our lives? And that's where I think it can be really easy to miss that. But I think when we do that, then we end up being satisfied. That's one of the emotions. And we end up actually being really content and grateful for the experience. And so then after that, that was number 5. So then we go on to our friend number 6. And that's the next part. Number 6 is right here. What are they currently doing to achieve their objective? And so that's the searching, whether that's just Googling it, they're reading books, listening to podcasts, paying for courses, asking friends or family, and then what they're doing to learn here. And that's simply applying the things that they've searched. So if there is a course, it's the implementation of that. If there's a book they're reading, it's they're using that book, and then they're experimenting. They're trying it in their own life to find out, hey, is this something that will actually work? And so the next one is, what are they doing to avoid the feelings from number 3? So that means, what are they doing to avoid feeling sad or feeling frustrated or embarrassed? And some of it may be distractions. And so that can be a way to avoid those feelings, is just, hey, if we just don't think about it, then it doesn't exist. Or going on TikTok or YouTube or Netflix or going to parties or whatever the different things are to avoid actually feeling that. Those are some of the ways. And then number 8 is, what are the activities that they can do to achieve the good side? And so for that, it's making value-based decisions. It's having habits that are going to serve them not just now, but for the rest of their lives. It's having a strong sense of identity of what makes them valuable, that's divorced or separate from their activities. And then at the bottom here is, while they're looking to solve this, do they want to look cool or discreet? And this is something that I actually had a question for you guys. So if you're watching this and you're at this point, let me know. I'm leaning more towards discreet. At least when I'm learning something or growing personally, usually in my first instinct isn't to want tons of people to know. So that's where I'm leaning on that one. But I would be curious as to if you agree or disagree. This is still a work in process for me, so I'd really value your feedback. And then, what do they do now to make it look as though it's discreet? And for me, it's learning in silence. It's learning and not going, hey, I'm reading this book or I'm doing this thing, but usually it's just the actual implementation of it. And usually most people don't notice. So that's the step number 2. And then the last part is this customer interview. And so this is the application that we did today, which was to actually call someone. And so for me, what it looked like was I called 9 people and got through to absolutely 0 of them the first time. But the idea with this is to ask, hey, have you ever wanted to develop character? And so I'm asking other college students and young adults. And then if they say, hey, yes, that's something that's important to me, I go, cool. Tell me a story about how you're going about doing that. And the goal here is specificity of what were they doing, what were they trying, who were they around, and then if it worked or if it didn't, it's asking, hey, why did that work, or what did you like about that, or why didn't that work, why was that hard, and asking why 5 times, and then asking on a scale from 1 to 10 how painful or awesome, in this case, how did that work for you? Did it work really well? Was it effective? Did it actually create the change inside of you that you were looking for? And then just on that scale, circle that. And then asking, how do you currently solve the problem of developing character, of developing the habits and mindsets that are going to serve you not just while you're in school, but for the rest of your life? And what keywords do you use to find that, or do you ask friends, or who do you go to answer that question? And so I got to call 9 people. I've got a couple people that have actually responded back to me now, but that's what I'm doing. That's the recap. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like, as well as subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be doing this recap at the end of every, pretty much on every Saturday or Sunday is when it will come out. So if you want to be aware of that, go ahead and do that. There's also a playlist if you want to check out the first and the second video. That should be somewhere up around here. And yeah, go ahead and check those videos out. Adios.